Hey guys, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you something which is smart search. So let me remove all of these selections from here that we made in the previous video. Now the smart search option is very conveniently placed over here, and as you can see it indicates smart search. So I'll just go ahead and click on that. Now it is asking me that search your data. That means I can do the search in my entire data. For example, let's say I want something related to polarizing. So I will start writing, and it is now suggesting me that polarizing. So I'll press tab and it will indicate the product names which is coming where the name is coming polarizing. Similarly, if I want, let's say I have a lot of product categories or the sub product categories, I will just choose the computer in this case, and it will show me every field which has or the field value which has the computer in it. So for example, within the product subcategory I have computer peripherals, but in product name I have computer in these many products, as well as 11 more. I can click over here and it will show me everywhere I am getting the computer. So this is basically the smart search is which you can basically utilize in your sheets. Apart from the selections that is available to you, you can simply go in and based on the word or the thought process coming into your mind, just start entering accordingly, and if that word is present in any of your table, it will start showing you as a result over here. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video, and let's review the different charts which are available here within the Qliksense. So go into edit mode, and here we are in the charts. So first and foremost chart that you have is the bar chart, very commonly used. Shows you basically the comparison of the numerical value based on the dimension that you have chosen on the x-axis. Similarly, the box plot chart is a famous statistical chart to show the distribution of data. Combo chart is basically a combination of bar and line chart. Distribution plot is a new and a different type of plot, and helpful in doing the comparison of numerical data when you want to basically group it from the perspective of its range comparison. After that you have filter pane, which we have already explored over here. Gauge chart is helpful in gauging basically where the value is. You can compare it with your car's dashboard, which basically shows where the speedometer value is by indicating it from that line. Then you have histogram, another statistical chart which is helpful in identifying the distribution of data. Finally, you have this KPI. KPI is a single measure chart and helpful in showing and highlighting the key performance indicators. Then you have line chart which is basically useful in showing the trend information related to, let's say for example, you want to see orders over a period of time and similar metrics like that. Then you have a simple map to basically show the, let's say you have different countries information or states information, and you want to show it on a map with the help, and you want to take the advantage of that intuitive visualization, you can use map. Then you have the pie chart, very commonly used and a traditional chart to show the portion of the data. That means which portion is taking the most part compared to the other. Then you have pivot tables. I believe you have been using it if you have prepared the reports and dashboards. So pivot table is present that we will see in our videos. You have scatter plot. Scatter plot is very helpful. Sometimes it is also called as bubble chart. But if you have, let's say, thousands of data points and you want to plot it on X and Y axis, it is really useful. we will see it in action. Then you have a simple table. Many times simple tables are useful in viewing the information, so you can use that. Then you have text and image, very useful from the perspective of reports, dashboards, and for a custom text if you want to display. Then you have a tree map chart, which I feel is the advancement of the pie chart, because it shows what each section is taking, and you can even have hundreds of sections, and you have one section in another section, so there is a lot of possibilities. With that, we will see it in action. And then finally, the waterfall chart for those custom needs where you really want to see that how a particular value is making up when it has the different sections. So all of these charts we will see it in action in their respective videos, but in this video I just wanted to give you a quick idea. If you are just starting up with the Qliksense, then what are all the charts which are available to you? Some of them will be definitely you must have seen, like pie, bar, pivot table and all, but some of them would be absolutely new. So let's see them in action when their turn is arriving. So that's pretty much it for this video, and I'll meet you in the new video, the new topic. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you, or rather give you an overview of data manager. So over here in the navigation you have the first section is app overview, which is basically taking us to the at the front page of the app, from where we can choose the sheet and all, which we have already seen, but for now let me click on this data manager. So once I click on the data manager, you can see that on the very first section it is showing us the table which we have imported it earlier. If we want to add more table or data, we can click over here, add, and add more tables. Similarly, if you see over here we have related to this table, we have all the fields which we can see, and we can scroll it left and right to see it, so see basically all the fields. Over here you have the option to edit this table, refresh this table or reload it, so that if there is any addition or removal of the data in the backend, it will be refreshed accordingly. If you want to delete it, and if there is any filter, then you can cancel the filter. Couple of other options like view details. So for now, let's go ahead and click on the edit this table, just to give you a quick overview. Now edit this table opens up in a new window, and here we have the option like this. If you are seeing, if I hover over, it's a general, and if I click over here, we can do basically rename, we can sort, we can view the detail. So let's click on rename, and I can now, instead of having a space, let's say I want the underscore, right? So I can make that underscore and just click somewhere else, like I have just clicked on order date, and now this is done. But as you can see, instead of going here and doing a rename, I can simply click here and do the rename, right? And apart from this, as you can see, I have the option of sorting in case I want to sort the data, and I have the option of viewing the detail. Let's click on view the detail. So it shows that it's a source field, it's order date, and no operation is done. You can close it. All right, so you can perform all of this operation on all of these different tables. Now after this, you have the option of unpivot. Let's say you have a structure which you have imported in a pivot kind of structure, and you want to unpivot it because you want in a long format and from the visualization perspective, then you can unpivot the data. After that, you have the option of adding a field. So for example, based on certain calculation, you want to add a field, you can add it. And that's the most commonly used operation, because business needs keeps increasing. When they see the first output, they want more and more, and a number of times you will have to create a calculated field. So that option will be very helpful. So I wanted to show you. After that, you have the option to select data from the source in case you want to select it. So once it is done, you can come over here. You can click on this, which is done, right? And basically see whatever changes that you have made, like order data, order date, underscore, everything is done. After that, you have, so this is basically an association view in case there is an association between the tables. But if you want to just have the table view, you can click on table and it will show you the table. So right now it is showing pending update because we have not loaded the data after making the changes. Once we will load the data, it will gonna work absolutely fine. So let's go ahead and load the data and see how it is coming in the front end, and click on edit this sheet and go to fields. Now if you see order underscore ID and order underscore date, right? So if you again want to make some changes, go to navigation, come to data manager and select the view in which you are more comfortable, and start making the changes into the data by going over here in the edit. So that's a quick overview of data manager within Qliksense, and I will now meet you in the new video with a new topic. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video, and in this video let me give you a quick overview of data model viewer. So over here in the navigation we have the option of data model viewer. So once I click on that, it will show up the data model viewer window in a couple of seconds. So over here, because we just have one table, that's why you are just seeing no other table or no other relation over here. But as you can see, there are like a lot of different options, like how you want to see it. Say for example, you just want to see it like a normal tables, then you can see it like a normal table, or if you want like the new way of Qliksense showing it in sort of a circles and all, so you can basically see it. So what I can do for now is let me add another table. So for example, I'm going into data manager, if you remember from our previous video, and let me add the returns. So what I'll do is I click on here and I will go to my computer and desktop, and I will, nope, not here, desktop and sales, and I will take returns and I will remove that, and I remove that. So returns is the table which I basically want over here. So I will click on add data. As I click on add data, you will see that both of these fields, so it is showing me that this table is deleted. So let me go back and see it again. Accidentally I think I deleted it. So sales, orders, and add data. You can see how quickly I can or even you can do it. So now over here it is showing you that how you can join the two tables based on the order ID. So if you are confirmed with this, you click on apply and there is a connection made between the two tables. Alright, now let's go to the data model viewer. Let me load the data and make sure that it is done. So going into edit sheet, now coming back and going into data model viewer, because saving the changes and loading the data is very important. And now you can see kind of a connection that is available, and I'm able to expand this. So all of this information is basically available to us in terms of a very intuitive interface in which we can see these data models, and I can just simply click on any of the column, and as you can see when I click on this, it highlights that this is where the table is connected to the different table from via this field. Apart from this, you have a couple of other options, like if this is the layout you want, then you can simply go ahead and lock the table layout so that there is no changes after you're coming back and seeing it again. And you can expand or you can zoom in, zoom out based on your needs. Say for example you have 10 different tables, and you can just zoom out and all the tables will be appear over here. So that's a quick overview of data model viewers, and I just showed you as well how you can join the table, import additional table and join it, and then again see it in the data model viewer. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will give you a quick overview of the data load editor. So let me click over there and let's click OK, because for me that's okay if I don't want to save it because I have not done many changes. So here we are in the data load editor, and on the left side you see we have two sections. One is the main section and second one is auto generated section. So this auto generated section is basically a part of all the operation that we were doing in the data manager. So it creates an auto calendar by default, and it has imported that orders and returns table, and there is some calculation which is going in at the start. So now if you see, this is asking us to unlock, because you have just one way of managing your data inside the Qliksense. Either you can come over here in the data editor and manually make changes, or you can use data managers. You cannot use both. It has to go in one way. So most of the times I recommend that if you are a beginner, try to make the most use of the data manager, because a lot of tasks which you will do come and do it here will be done over there very easily. Just drag drop and you are done. But if you are finding that data manager you have used it at full capacity, and now you want to really make your hands dirty with the scripting and all, you come here, unlock this and start making the changes, right? So you can create your sections by clicking over here, which is saying that create a new section, and it will create a new section like main or auto generated, where you can start creating the script based on that section need, right? After that you have over here, if you want to make the data connections and all, you can make the data connection here. You have the option of debugging, so you can debug as well your script. So these are all the options which is available, and once you are done you can load the data, and this will load your entire data into the front end. So for now I am not unlocking and changing anything, because we will do a lot of tasks with the data manager's help. But for sure, once we will get a lot of experience into Qliksense for doing and managing our data, we will definitely come here, because we will have to do a lot of work here. So that's pretty much it for now for this video, and I will meet you in the new video, the new topic. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. And in this video I will show you or I will explain one concept for which I keep getting some questions. So that is like how we can understand something is a measure or a dimension. So let me come here on the fields. So over here you can see you have a lot of different fields like customer name, customer segment, discount, order ID, priority, and order quantity, so on and so forth. So those who are really beginning with the BI technologies like Qliksense get confused with the facts, dimensions, measure and dimension and things like that. So in a way I'll just try to explain this concept in a very simple way. So first thing is try to understand from the perspective about previously if you have created any chart like a bar chart. So on the x-axis you have some values like say for example 5 or 6 country names or maybe year names. So that is basically your dimension or a value by which you want to see the data. And what you want to see the data, that means the numerical value, which is the actual bar. For example, sales by country, or sales by product, or sales by product category. So when you basically say that sales is a measure, because that will basically quantify it, and dimension is basically a context through which you want to analyze the data. So dimensions basically helps us in finding the context from the data. And whenever we say, or somebody is coming to you, you suppose you are an analyst, and they are coming to you and asking you that they want to see why sales is dropping in that particular region. So in that way, sales is basically, it's a numerical data, it's a continuous data. That's why it is a measure in that case. And region, suppose in this case, is the dimension for which you have got the question. Now to check this hypothesis, obviously you will go and look at different region, compare it with the region of interest, and see whether the sales are really going down over a period of time or not. But coming back to the basic question, what are facts and or what are dimensions and measures? So dimension is something which is discrete data. So this is something like repetitive data. So for example, customer segment will be repeated for hundreds of orders which are present, but it is not same for order quantity or maybe profit, because for each order the profit will be different, and it is very unlikely that two different orders are having the same profit. It may happen, but I'm saying it is like in 1,000 orders it is just one chance maybe, right? But when you come to region, this is like for every order it is repetitive in nature. So when the values are repetitive in nature, like region or customer segment or product subcategory, they are dimension. But if they are not at all repetitive in nature, and case like in thousands or in millions time, they can just be repeated once or twice, they are like profit, and they are called continuous data. So product subcategory, region, all of these are discrete and are repeatable data. That's why they are dimension. And profit, sales, order quantity, all of these are continuous data, and that's why they are either fact or measure. Both are same. So I hope I am able to solve this question which I keep receiving. But let me know if it is still confusing, and I will try to reply your comment based on what comment you're posting. So that's pretty much it, and I will meet you in the new video with a new topic. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you or explain you the master items. So when I click on the master items, I have three different sections. One is dimension, another one is measure, and third one is visualization. Now I'll just show you or tell you the basic concept of master items. And as the name suggests, master item. So master item is something that you are creating once and using in the entire application, whether it is a chart or whether it is a filter. You can just simply go ahead and use it. So why is that useful? So for example, suppose you are creating any dimension or measure which is using some complex calculation, right? So you would not really like to do that calculation again and again. Suppose you are using a chart, or you are having 10 different sheets and you have to use that calculation 10 different times. So you will have to write that calculation if you don't have the master item. But suppose if you are using the master item and you are in the measure and you click on create new measure, and for now I will just say sum of sales as a simple calculation. But think like if you have a very long calculation, things like set analysis, aggregation functions and things like that, then you would just specify it over here. Just give it a name, whatever name. For now I will just give sum of sales, any label name you want to give, or expression, any description you want to give, any color you want to give or text you want to give, and just create over here. So what we have created one master item, which is sum of sales. Now if we go to any chart, let's say for example I try to create a bar chart. All right, I just dragged it over there and I will click on add dimension and let's say segment, and when I click on the measure, you will see that first of all I am getting the master item sum of sales, and as I click it over here, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to specify any expression or anything. It will create a sum of sales chart for me based on what dimension I'm choosing. So that's the benefit, that I don't have to write any function or any expression, either myself or somebody has already written it for me, and I am simply using it as an analyst in my charts when I'm trying to create any reports or dashboard. So coming back to the master item, you can create very complex calculation once and use it again and again. Similarly, if you are having any calculated dimension, say for example create new, if you are creating the dimension based on any field which includes if condition or some other expression, then you can simply create it once and use it again and again after clicking add dimensions. So that's about the master items. And before I close, finally, it's basically true for the visualization that you just need to create that complex visualization once, and if you want to use it anywhere in different sheets, then you can simply go ahead and use it. So master items, one standard line that create once, use many times, or create once, use anywhere in any sheet. That's the simple statement for the master items. So that's pretty much it for this video, and now I'll meet you in the new video, the new topic. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will give you a quick exercise, and the exercise is pretty simple. So in the previous video you have seen that we have created the master items within the measures, and within the dimension also you can create it. Visualization we will see it in later, but I want to give you an exercise where you are creating the different measures as well as dimensions. If you have, let's say, any dimensions of your interest from the current data source, then I would like that you create, let's say, average of sales or sum of profit and average of profit by creating the new measure. Similarly, if you want to create any conditional dimension, however we have not touched on that subject, that how we can create a calculated kind of a dimension which is a conditional one, but you can create a simple one by simply selecting a dimension. Now that I have already explained, so I look forward that you are creating the new measures and dimensions, which is basically a practice of how to create a master item, and then we will use, and then whatever dimension or measure I will create, I will going to use it in the subsequent videos and show you in action. So you can do this practice and come back for the next video, and we will see a new topic. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you how you can create the bar chart. Alright, so the bar chart is here within the chart section of this assets panel, and we can drag it where we want, right? As you can see, if I'm going right towards right side, this is how the shape is taking. If I'm coming a little bit on the left side, a big vertical shape that it is taking. So depends on how we want, we can place it. Like if I'm coming on the central, it is taking the entire area. So let me put it over here and simply add the dimension. Now I have added some of the dimension into my master items, which I have given you as an exercise. So if I go on the master dimension, created few of the very simple dimension just for the exercise, and created few of the measures, right? So I can simply go ahead and add the dimension, let's say customer segment, and I want to add the measure, let's say profit, sum of profit. Alright, so now we have the information here, a very simple information about the profit by customer segment, and we can clearly see that corporate is the biggest one, whereas home office, small business, consumer are pretty much the same. Now, as you can see, these are just 4 categories, so we can come over here and click and drag it towards the right. And as we are dragging it, you can see it is changing the bar space. So based on how we want to have a look and feel from the bar chart, we can put it. Okay, after that, let's come over here and review these sections. The first section is the data section, and over here we have the customer segment. We can add more dimension. We can add alternative dimension. I'll talk about that in later in a different video. What alternative dimensions are. Similarly, if you look at measure, you have one measure and you can add other measure if you want, as well as you have the option of adding an alternative measure, which I'll show you in a different video. After that, you have the option of doing this sorting, where you can open up these dimension and measure. By default, auto is enabled. You can disable it, and if you disable it, manual options are now given. So sort by expression, sort numerically, sort alphabetically, these options are available. And after that, even looking at the profit sum, you have the option of disabling it, where you will again get options like sort numerically, descending, solve alphabetically, little different from the dimension. So for now, I will just enable this. I will explain all of these different sorting options because sorting plays an important role. So maybe in a different video. Now, include 0 values if you want to include the 0 values, but if you don't want, just uncheck that. Very simple. If you have any calculation condition based on which you want to show the chart, you can specify that, and we will look at in a different example about how we can really enable the calculation conditions for the chart and make use of it, because it's a very important one. Then you have the reference line, because most of the time we want to add a reference line that maybe on 200k or maybe on 400k, so that we can clearly see whether we are reaching towards the target or not. So you can simply click on add reference line, give it a label, reference line expression. You want to give any color or anything, and finally, if you don't need, let's say you can even delete that. For now, let me delete that. After that, you have the appearance, where you have a lot of properties, which is general, where you can give title, subtitle, and footnote, as well as you have presentation, how you want to show the bar chart, vertical or horizontal. You can clearly do that. Scroll alignment, if there is a scrolling enabled, grid line spacing, by default auto, you can uncheck and manually specify. Value labels, again simple on and off, so you can clearly see if I enable it, you are getting the labels. And as you can see, it is smart enough that over here the bar is reaching towards the height, so in that case it has put the label inside, but here in this case it is outside of the bar as well as in black color, whereas this is in white color. So that's the kind of smart feature we get it. Similarly, you have the properties like color and legend, by default auto, x-axis and y-axis, very similar properties about label and title, position, scale, medium. You have like wide, narrow and all, with which you can really experiment and make and basically put the look and feel which you want to use. But I just wanted to run it through quickly because many times we want standard, but sometimes it is important that you should know what are these properties which are available under the different headings. So since we are looking at first time, it's a good idea to look at all of these different properties. So that's about how you can create a bar chart within the Qliksense. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video, and I hope you have got now a good idea about how you can create your first bar chart within the Qliksense. Now I want to give you a quick exercise where you need to create one chart by product category, and for each product category I want that you look at the sales, right? So this would be the chart, bar chart, where you would show that how each of the product category is doing when it comes to the sales, right? And you need to put a proper title, which is product category by sales, and instead of profit sum and customer segment, you need to put a proper label about how the about the proper labeling in terms of product category. If it is not product category, or profit sum, it should be sum of profit or only profit. In your case, it should be only sales. So that's mainly you want to do. I want you to do into your first exercise of bar chart. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. And in this video, I will present you another interesting exercise, and I would like you to observe few things. All right. So in this exercise, I will ask you to create another bar chart by going over here, and this bar chart will be a bar chart having product categories for each of the different sales, right? So for example, you created here product category. This time you need to create by product subcategory. So apologies if I have said product category earlier. So you need to create a chart by product subcategory and sales. And what you need to do is you need to sort it in the ascending order. So by default it will be in the descending order, and you need to change the order and you need to update it on the descending or ascending order. Also, I would like you to do the same thing for this. You need to change the order. Right now it is the order of by default the data load, how it happens. It is kind of doing the auto sorting based on the sorting available here. But after you are done with the product subcategory, I would like you to observe what happens here in this chart and understand how sorting works. If you have questions, write down in the comment, but I would really like you use your observation skills and see what is the difference when you sort the chart on the product subcategory as compared to the product category. Alright, I'll meet you now in the next video, the new topic. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video, and I hope you will be able to understand the difference, but if not, let's go and create a bar chart. Alright, now let's add the dimension, which is a product subcategory, add the measure, which is sum of sales. Here we have the descending order, right, of the chart. I hope you have got this one. So now let me go back to the sorting, and over here the sum of sales, let me disable that. And as you can see, by default it is sort numerically and descending, so let me change it to ascending, and now the chart is in the ascending order, right? So that's our first condition. Now let me try to do the same thing over here. I will just click over here, come over sum of sales, remove this, chart sort numerically, descending. But as you can see, it is not descending order, right? If it would be in descending order, then this bar would be first, it would be second, and this would be third. If I try to change it, it will not happen, and it might have confused you that, okay, what is really going on? And that is what I really wanted you to observe, that what happens when you apply sorting in here as compared to this. So what basically happens, and as per the Qliksense documentation, if the number of categories over here is less than 10, then it will be a default ordering as per the data source load, the numeric alphabetically. But if it is more than 10 or more than 10 categories, then in that case you can actually go and apply the ordering as per your needs. So that's the difference I wanted you to understand, and so that you are not confused when you are actually producing it and spending countless number of hours just to try to understand why in case where you have 5 categories you are not able to sort the chart. So that's pretty much it, and I will meet you in the new video, the new topic. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video, and in this video let me show you what happens when we add the alternative dimension. Alright, so when we add the alternative dimension, for example, an option is given over here. I have selected this bar chart, and let me add an alternative, and in this case let me select, for example, maybe province. All right, and let me come back over here and put it on done. When I'm here, if I go down on this chart, you can see one option is enabled over here, which is product subcategory. If I click, the option is given to me that I can even use the province for viewing the chart. So in that case, if you have any specific order in mind that by which your customers should show or your end user should be able to see the different dimensions, you can just come back and go into edit mode, and just for now I'll just apply. Add the alternative dimension. As you can see, I have the option of adding another one. So for example, I want to add regions. So now I have province, I have regions, right? Kind of a hierarchy. So now over here, instead of province, I can go ahead and select even the region based on what my needs are, and I will get my updated chart. So that's about the and what it is asking me, that I have some unsaved changes. Do I want to apply? Yes, I want to apply. So I can add as many as I want, but just to be on a safer side, anywhere between 3 dimensions to 5 dimensions is good. 5 is still way high because it may confuse your user, because they need to interpret the chart based on what dimension is changing, but it's a handy feature that you can use. So that's pretty much it about this video in this about this topic, and I'll meet you in the new video, the new topic. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. And in the previous video I have talked about the alternative dimension, and in this video let's see the alternative measure. So over here we have the dimension, but down there I have the measure, and I can add as many measure I want, but that will change the chart. So suppose I don't want to chart, but I want to add the alternative measures. So let's say for example, I have sum of sales, but my users are interested in seeing average of sales. So I have created this master item earlier, and I've given you as an exercise. So if you have used that, you can easily get it, right? And let me add one more. Maybe I want to see the average profit as well, and I am done. So let me click on done. Now for this region, I want to come over here, sum of sales, and I want to see the average sales, and this is what the average sales looks like. Similarly, I want to see the average profit, and this is how my average profit looks like. So this way I can change the different measures, and I can change the different dimension. Let's say I want to see it by product subcategory, then this is how my product subcategory looks like, right? So that's a quick way about how you can add multiple measures, so that you don't have to create the new chart for a different kind of measure, but add kind of a dynamic behavior within your chart, which is kind of a unique and a pretty interesting feature. But as I've suggested in the previous video, don't go for many measures. Anywhere between 3 is the standard, which I would say is pretty good as per my experience, but at the max go with maximum 5 if you really need it, right? But anywhere around 3 is really good. So that's about how you can add the alternative measures into the Qliksense chart. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you how you can create reference lines here in the chart. So for example, in the bar chart, many times we want to create the reference line. So for example, total sum of profit, let's say we want the average profit as a line, or maybe some static line, maybe around 300k. So just to understand which section or which bar is below the target and which is above the target. All right, so let's go into the edit, and over here in the add-ons you have the options of reference line. So remember that I have selected this chart, but let's say if I want to select this chart, a reference line will be created for this one. So make sure that you understand which chart is selected. So let me select this one and add the reference line. So let me add the label, which is target, and let me add the color. So by default black is fine, I'm okay with that. And I want the 350k as a one which I want to use. So 350k, and now as you can see my target is over here, right? So similarly, if I want to add over here and add a reference line, let's say again target and reference line expression, and I want to add a static line which is around 4 million. So over here, less. So over here 4 million line is added. Similarly, if I want, I can do it over here. So I'm leaving this adding a reference line to you as an exercise. Now I want to come back and show you that not only this, but if I want, I can actually go into the expression and I will say average, and I will say profit, average profit, and click on apply. So as you can see, target is going really down there, 181, and everybody is performing well below, above the average. So you can, the main idea is that you can basically make use of average or other functions which is related to your chart and the reference line, and make use of it. Similarly over here, if I want as an expression, I can simply say average sales, and accordingly, so maybe here it is an issue that it is has not put the expression, so let me sum, or maybe average sales, and apply. And now it is 1.78k, which is very low. But I just wanted to show you about that not only you can use the static number, but the expression as well, and which is making sense in case of the charts. And you, once you're done, come back and see it in action. Right now it is not visible because it's right there on this x-axis, but maybe in your case, when it is more meaningful, let's say you want to add sum or some other expression, you can basically use it in your chart. So that's about how you can add both static as well as dynamic line, because if I select anything, let's say delivery truck, you will see that the line will accordingly change the value. So for example, I've selected delivery truck, appliances, and now the line is changing based on that. So that's a benefit. In case of static line, obviously it will not change and will not give you the right value. So it depends on what our needs are. We can either have a static line, or we can even have the relative line, which is relative to the selections that we are making. So that's about it in this video for the reference line, and I will meet you in the new video, the new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video. And in this video I will show you the limitation part of a bar chart. So what limitation is, let's say for example, if you want to display only top 10 customer, or you want to display values which are above, let's say 5 million, so in that case only one value will be displayed. So let's create first a relevant bar chart and then see it in action. So we are already in edit mode, as you can see, and let me just delete this. I just press the delete button, and let me go into the chart, and I'm having this bar chart over here. I will add the dimension. So I will add a dimension which will have a lot of value. So for example, product name maybe. So product name, and I will add a measure which is sales, or sum of sales over here. So here I have the sum of sales, and over here you can see I have the dimension and I have the measure. So let me open up the dimension, and over here you can see the limitation drop down. Right now the value is no limitation, that's why you are seeing all of the value, right? But if I, let's say, click on this drop down, and let's say I want to say fixed number, then you can see the two fields, top and bottom, is now appearing in front of me. I can say top 10, and even I have the flexibility to specify any expression, but for now I will just press the or enter the top 10. Let's say I want top 15, right? So now the top 15 values are coming, but along with that you can see this bar chart which is coming. It's nothing but the others, that means the total of rest of the other values, and we can uncheck from here that whether we want to show the others or not. So let's uncheck that, and now the values are coming properly. Similarly, top you have the bottom option. So bottom 15 values, so you can clearly see what are those product names in which are actually at the bottom and what are their respective values, right? So you have both top and bottom. After that, you have the exact value, so you get couple of options. So with exact value greater than or equal to, let's say I will say, for example, 200k in this case, so 200,000. So I will get only these values. If I say, let's say 150,000, then I get just one more value. Let's say if I'm entering 100,000, which is in Indian currency 1 lakh rupees, then you will get this value. So greater than equal to is little different than greater than, because it has the equal to sign. So if I click over here, you see there is nothing much of a difference, but if there would be any value which is of 100,000, that it would have been excluded. Similarly, I can press less than, but as you can see, less than has a lot of value. So maybe I can say product sales, which is less than 1,000. Still there are a lot of values. So you can basically enter the right criteria, but this is how you can enter the criteria. After that, exact value, you have the relative value. So in that case, product sales, sales number which is greater than 3% of the rest of the number of sales, which basically accumulates to 3% of the rest of the products. So I'm just trying to enter 3, but I think it is still large. So what I'll do is I will just say 1%, and we get these values. If I, let's say 0.8%, I get a couple of other values. So what it is basically indicating that the sales for these products are basically greater than or equals to 0.8% as compared to the rest of the other products. And similarly, greater than equal to, you have greater than, less than, and less than equal to. If you want, you can even show the others. So that's how you can basically control your bar chart for not showing hundreds of values like product name or the customer name or any other field which is having a lot of values. You can reduce it by providing the appropriate limitation value based on your business needs. So that's pretty much it. Now I'll meet you in the new video, the new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video. And in this video, I will show you how you can create the group bar chart or the stack bar chart, which is another form of a bar chart when you are having the multiple dimensions, multiple measures. Alright, so let's see how we can do that. So first of all, let's go into the charts and let's get the bar chart. And here we have the bar chart, and let me add a one very simple dimension, which is customer segment, and let me add the sum of sales. So very simple chart, I have got it, that for each of this segment I have the sum of sales. Now to create the group bar chart or stack bar chart, I need to have either one more measure or one more dimension. So but we will go ahead with right now with one more measure, dimension. So I'm going over here in fields. I already have the customer segment. So what I will take is the product category. I will simply drag it over here and I will add product category. As soon as I add, by default it creates the group bar chart. So what it has done, it has grouped the product category for each of the customer segment. I can clearly see how corporate, how home office, small business, and consumer is each of this customer segment is doing from the perspective of the product category. Now let me change this to a stack bar chart. To do that, let me go into the appearance, and in the presentation we have the option of creating a stack bar chart. And as you can see, within the presentation having the stacked option, it converts the bar chart, the group bar chart, into the stack bar chart. And if you want, you can even change the position from vertical, which is like this tray, to a horizontal if that makes more sense to you. So this way you get the stack bar chart from both the position, or if you want group bar chart, you just select this option. If you want, as it is present over here in the presentation, you can enable the labels as well, and you get the labels for each of the section of your segment. So that's about how you can create the group bar chart and the stack bar chart into the Qliksense and get the right analysis out for your dashboard. Well, that's pretty much it, and I will meet you in the new video, the new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you how you can sort the stack bar chart. So by default, if you see, it is sorted alphabetically, which is default order. So if I go in sorting, every sorting is by default the auto, and first one is the customer segment. So if I try to rearrange the order, let's say I want to keep sum of sales on the upper side, it will not go. Otherwise, it would have been sorted by sales. So what I need to do in that case? Well, in that case, let me go into customer segment. Let me disable this. And over here, let me say sort by expression. And now I need to enter the expression, which is nothing but sum of sales, the expression which I have used on this bar chart. So I will say sum of sales. Make sure that you are entering the field name right. If you are in expression editor, it will suggest you, but this way, because I remember this field name, I have just entered it. Here it does not give you that autocorrect option. As soon as I enter and press tab, you can see it's in the ascending order. But if I want to change it into a descending, then I can change it into a descending order, and that way my sorting will work fine. So that's a quick way about how you can sort it, and based on the formula like sum of sales, sum of profit, discount, average discount, whatever you want, you can based on that sort your bar chart accordingly. So that's about it, how you can sort a stack bar chart into the Qliksense. Initially it looks a bit confusing, but it is not if you know exactly where you really need to enter the values. So I hope you have found it useful, and I will meet in the new video with a new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you how you can create the 100% stack bar chart. So this is a common requirement if you are coming from the Excel or any other software which has the flexibility where you just specify the values and produce it. But here within the Qliksense, you need to provide the right formula. I know initially the formula may be a little bit complex or may sound daunting if you have not already used the QlikView set analysis, but I will explain it to you, and I think once I explain, it will be crystal clear to you why I am doing that, which I will going to do in just a couple of seconds. Alright, so the task is to create the 100% stack bar chart. Now let me go into here, which is expression. So I will just click on FX, and over here the expression that I'm using is the sum of sales, right? So sum of sales divided by, again, sum of sales, right? So far so good. We are using sum of sales, but when you actually see 100%, it's basically what we need to do is let me click apply. We need to basically understand or get the sum of each of these segments, the total of each of these segments, to basically derive that 100% values, the real 100% values. So what I'll do is FX, and over here I will use the keyword total. So what total keyword does is basically it creates the total for the sales, but we need total for each of the customer segment. So within these parentheses I will provide the value which is customer segment. So what I'm doing over here, I'm saying that for each individual stack within a stack bar chart, divide by their respective segment, the total of their respective segment. If I am not specifying a total segment, the customer segment, then it will take the entire total of the entire bar chart. All right, so I click apply, and now you can see the value above have changed to 1, which is actually 100%, and their respective values are coming based on the proportion that they have. So it has a small proportion, it has a bigger proportion, similarly that's a big one, that's a smaller one. So that's how with the help of the formula which I have written, you can get it. And it's very simple. Initially it will be a bit complex, but what we are just doing, we are getting a total by each of the customer segment for the sales, and dividing it to the sum of sales. So sum of sales divided by the sum of sales for each of the segment, total of each of the segment. So I hope you must have got it, but if you have any question or query, please let me know, and I will I will try to answer, and hope it will satisfy your concern or query.
Auto खोल दो पेज।